Hope you're all doing well. We're here. I wanted to jump on and just sort of say that Mars has gone into Sagittarius officially. It is official, 0 degrees. The energy is jumpy. um, Curious to see how you guys feel about these energies if you're feeling them. Yes, whenever I'm doing the live chat, I feel like it's awkward because I'm either like way down here in double chin, triple chin, quadruple chin world, which is all right. It is what it is. It's just a different vibe. And then, or it's like weird, it's sideways, like, casting a shadow, like side profile. But yeah, because like if I want to go head on, then I can't show my background too much. So for those of you who are like, her video camera capabilities just suck. I have to do what I can, given that this is also a live video. But you guys, thank you for tuning in. Let's jump into it. Talk a little bit about this Mars and Sagittarius. What is Mars and Sagittarius? Who is Mars and Sagittarius? Why does it matter? Well, it's interesting because Mars and Sag is accompanying obviously the Sun in Sag currently, and this is significant. Mars is a fire-based planet, and being in a fire sign, Sagittarius, this is a lot of fire energy. So, in addition to the sun being in Sagittarius, which is it's a fire-based luminary, right? We have the sun and the moon. There's quite a bit of fire energy here, and there's a lot of really, really sort of creative and ardent energy at your disposal with this particular astrological lineup. So, however, I want to also say that it's an incredibly creative energy, and in a very how do we say? I want to say curious energy, very curious, very adventurous. Similar to fellow fire signs of Aries and Leo. However, Sagittarius does have a rather particular curiosity for adventure, expansion, exploration, these such things. Fire energy as an archetype in general, and I'm mentioning this because we have so much fire right now in the birth wheel, in the current astro realm. Fire energy in general is an energy that seeks to advance, progress in a very obvious way, in such a way that is physical, maybe even like literally physically obvious and expressive. It can be a very playful energy, but at times, Jupiter energy can also be a little bit, it can be a little jumpy, a little erratic, it can even be a little fastidious at times. Because Jupiter, it does rule Pisces as well, but it also rules, obviously Sagittarius. It's, how do we say? It kind of, it doesn't really have strict, very clear, concise boundaries. There's not just a single discussion when it comes, and this is why also, Sagittarius rules things such as like debate. Because you're able to really, with this Jupiter energy, with this strong ninth house energy, like really, really take your mind and think about things outside of the box even, or at least discuss them, This is a very sort of like Sagittarius kind of thing here. So, but that can also, obviously, as with any element, there's a shadow energy to every element. And that tendency can get a little bit like drawn out. It can, get drawn out and get a little distracting. So with Jupiter, sometimes, the question can be direction, it can be focus, it can be even organization at times. Not saying that Jupiter doesn't mean that you cannot be organized. Okay, after all, Jupiter does rule mentorship, teaching. Okay, but especially in the earlier degrees, Jupiter can be very, excited. Yeah, like a darty puppy energy a little bit. Especially with Mars and Sag. Yeah. So there's a lot of like ideas as well. Of course, it's Sagittarius. Sagittarius again being ruled by Jupiter, which is that benefic energy of let's think about all of the possibilities and wow and sunshine and rainbows and cool and whoa and this and that and what about this and let's go back to that and what about these two? It's a little bit, can be a little bit at times, there's a lot of energy and interest and nothing is necessarily bad or good even or inherently neutral. Okay. It's just you see it for yourself. If you have a lot of Jupiter in your chart, maybe at times you get frustrated by that tendency. Sometimes maybe you're very excited, okay, to have such a realm of, as you see, an opportunity to even pursue different projects. I hear that. So I don't know, Jupiter, it is expansive. So just simply, it is about sorry guys, getting a little distracted there. I was looking at this tour bus guide and they look like they were like shaking their hands up in the air, like kind of angry. I don't know what that's about. But they were all waiting in line like for the traffic anyways to move through. So but yeah, so Jupiter, yes, you might find that you have a lot of ideas, a lot of projects. It's a very physical energy, like, as well. I'll let that pass, guys. We were saying expansive, yeah. So, I mean, if we think about that, right, just as energy, it's about going out. Jupiter is about let's stretch it out. Let's like see it really like from all these different angles and like wow. Okay. Whoa, let's talk about it. That is Jupiter right there. That's how I see it. This is my the way I'm working with the planets personally. This is obviously also a channeled message. So for those of you, yeah, just saying. But it's very interesting, Jupiter, because it can also tend towards the side of the discussion of optimism. It likes to see, it comes from, and it's all perspective, it comes from, let's say, the vantage point of, let's see how this can be possible. Okay, whereas Saturn is more the energy of, let's say no before we say yes, always, as a rule. No matter what, even if I'm very excited about this, let's first say no. And then, yeah, that for somebody who has a lot of Jupiter can be very, very, very fucking annoying. Love and light, but this is just a heads up. And given that we have Venus in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn naturally in retrograde until March 2022, this little dynamic here we have going for the next, few weeks will be quite interesting. As Venus in Cap and Mars in Sagittarius duel it out. Okay, spar it out. Jupiter, Saturn. This is expansive, contractive. So they both have their worlds, their discussions, their places. In the broader discussion, they both are in a way necessary, just as all planetary elements are. But it's interesting, especially that it is Venus and Mars, which is about how you are receptive and how you are expressive. Yin yang energies as well can see through Venus and Mars when coupled together. Yes. Venus is technically also the ruler of Libra, which is a yang air sign, and yes, you can see Venus as being kind of yang, but I wouldn't consider it yang in comparison to Mars. With Venus and Mars, Venus is more what pleases you, how you are expecting to be. So let's say even, how you expect to experience things, receive things, it's your taste, your pleasures, okay, your senses. And Mars is how you express, how it is that demonstrate what it is that you want and what you're passionate about. So your side of the story, your perspective of the story. So with Venus and Mars together, we're really seeing that yin yang duo. But inherently, for those who are like, but hold on, like, yeah, Venus is, isn't it? Like, yeah, it is ruler of Libra, and that is technically, but it's also the ruler of Taurus, with the second house in the wheel, and that is an Earth sign, which is a yin element. So as a side note, but this is rare, where you have these co-rulers like that. Another example is Mercury. Mercury co-rules Virgo and Gemini. Virgo being an earth sign, or a yin earth sign, and Mercury, Gemini being the air sign, right? Yang. So it's interesting we have that duality proposition for two different signs, like the potential, Shut up, motherfucker. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I hate that, though. When people honk at you like that on the street, I hate that. Like, just stick your eyes on the road, sir. Okay, glue them to the road, sir. Yeah, let's clear it around. Love and light. Okay, that might be a clue, though. that might be a clue. Okay, like, what are you honking for? Like, I don't know what. Okay, we're just gonna move on now. So, anyway, yeah, no. Okay, yeah. Mars is still in Scorpio for me. Listen, that's another clue. Thank you, sir, for that little clue. So we are technically, yes, like, okay, let's not get too excited though, because Mars is only at 0 degrees, and it still has, okay, the dude like fully turned his head, guys. For those of you who are like, oh, maybe it wasn't towards you. Yeah, that's why I looked. I was hoping that yeah, and he fully turned his head like, bro, you need to keep your eyes on the road, okay? And this is, I mean, guys, what am I'm not even wearing anything. What, like, fucking bundled up like Santa Claus, like, oh God, I'm full on like, who's that character in Dorothy, Wizard of Oz? Why am I calling the movie by the main character's name? I don't know. Well, yeah, it's her journey, okay, but you know what I mean. What I'm looking fully like Tin Man right now. Okay, like, no, you shouldn't take your eyes off the road for any reason to begin with. Why are you gotta crank it like 90 degrees? Okay, fully. This is just, I don't understand. Like, okay, let's continue. Maybe he thinks I'm a weirdo. Let's just continue on. So, anywho, well, we are, yeah, so we were saying that right now, yeah, Mars is technically in Sagittarius. However, okay, it's still in Scorpio, because we're only at 0 degrees, guys. We still are feeling those Scorpio energies, possibly. So, and I mean, listen, Mars at 0 is still Mars at 0, regardless of the sign. So, it is an early Mars. Just beware that, not popping off the top with maybe people or in general, that energy is feeling grounded. And I hear that we have a lot of questions, maybe as a collective. It's like we're all very busy. It's like our first day of class, like first day of Mars Sagittarius class. Like, we're all very eager, but we need to just kind of like maybe calm down a little bit as well. This is what I'm hearing. If it's a message that resonates for you or is helpful to you, wonderful. It's okay. If it's not, maybe it's somebody's message in particular. So, but I'm hearing that that's something particular that we might be having these questions. And it is interesting because Mars is the stimulation of the mind. Sagittarius. Jupiter is the stimulation of the mind. And so we're starting to see an activation more so in that area of life. However, we're still in transition mode from Scorpio. And those of you who have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, it may take some time, I'm hearing this, to move through what it was that may have come up around that cycle. So if you're feeling like, I wanted to just turn around immediately, like, it may take a little bit of time. I'm seeing like the front of someone's car, like strapped on to the car itself. And this reminds me of yesterday's Astro live chat where the front of someone's car was missing. You guys remember that? Could be a metaphor. Okay, for a message. But anyhow, yeah, Maslow Tarot says, I'm a grumpy grump this morning. Need to release something. Oh, well, yeah, I feel like, and there are things that maybe are not, they're outside of our control. I hear that are even in our environment. Like, how do we say? I feel like we just had graduation vibes, and then there are things that we're acknowledging we don't connect to anymore, and there's a process of release with that. So maybe it's just processing. I imagine like a huge like stadium hall, like where everyone just graduated. Like some people are crying, some people are smiling, some people are laughing. Some everyone has a reaction. So on the astral realms right now, as a collective, we're observing a lot. Maybe not consciously, but in the subconscious, and So I think we shouldn't judge what we're feeling right now necessarily. Let it move through, and try to get out in nature. I also feel this tendency of wanting to change things up. There's a little bit of a restlessness, like I need to change this, and I can definitely say that I think this is going to be like an influence more so just in the beginning of this series of Mars and Sag. As we dip into like the next few days, in the next few degrees, we're going to feel more stabilized as we usually do once we do move through the zenith degree of any planet in any sign. And yes, so that's going to be very exciting, guys. But I feel like this, like, I don't know what it is recently, and it's got to be the sun and Sag. Like, my concentration level, I feel like I don't have really patience, like, as much for certain things. And it can be that, sometimes you just naturally lose affinity towards certain, like, things, like discussions or conversations, and, maybe even so I'm hearing, don't be, like, shocked if you kind of radically start having different tastes for different things, and you're like, I really want to let that go now. I'm just not interested in that conversation anymore, So, I mean, it can be that Sagittarius season even just brings up this question of what else, what can be, yet again, that question of possibilities. So, yes, with Mars in Scorpio, I feel like there is possibly this feeling of like, well, I don't want to let it go. Like I've been doing it, that can be the downfall at times of Scorpio energy, where you get very hooked on the pulse of a certain conversation, subject matter, person, whatever it is, a series of events. Okay. Very hard to forget. Like I'm reminded of that song that came through in the reading last night. It's Kygo, I think. Remind me to forget. We full on sang that song last night, and I think it was Leo reading. Yeah, where all the songs and the music were coming through. So yeah, the whole nostalgia, the memory, even at times the addiction, even to a certain idea, thought, person, okay, project. Let's clear the ground. That can be definitely a Scorpio thing, and so we really have just moved through a very heavy, hefty cycle of Scorpio, and so as we move more into Sag energies, the energy is becoming lighter. You might find, wow, you know what? I was really like hooked on that person or that conversation or that idea. Not so much anymore. I don't care if he's gonna barf, after dinner tomorrow. I don't know what that's about. Okay, you just take it as you will. Like I'm not so invested in like what he's doing. I hear that, or what they're up to, or what they mean when they say so and so. I don't really need to think about things that also bring me down. Okay, and that right there is very important when it comes to Sagittarius energy, because Jupiter again is a benefic energy. Okay, it is about bringing up and out, but in a way that inspires, that uplifts, that motivates, that's exciting. So naturally our taste for Dungeons and Dragons and where are we going and what happened to so and so in the past and what does that mean, all of that is going to have to get cleared out, because otherwise the Sagittarius energy will not be able to fully ascend. This is the message I'm getting. Now I'm also hearing that the paranoia as well, I'm hearing this, of what may have come through around this deeper Scorpio seasons is going to get cleared through. I hear this. So don't be surprised I'm hearing that. Like if you just radically, like your taste transforms, okay, for certain types of conversations and discussions and so on. I think there's also this question of, does it suit me? Does it serve me when it comes to my long-term ideals of what I create? If it's not, if I'm just sitting here kind of wasting my time, okay, I hear that as well. According to the intention of Venus currently in Capricorn, looking at long-term ideas and projects and visions and so on. And the expansive awareness and the broadened horizons of Sagittarius of, well, I can technically do anything. Okay, what is the place of this discussion right now in my world? Is it actually something that serves me, or am I wasting my time? Like, I'm hearing it like this again. Not that something is inherently a waste of time, but it's just a difference in taste. So, like, for example, maybe in Scorpio season, you were like, well, it's really important. I need to know, like, what's so and so doing, or what's going on with this side of the story, or I'm really focused on the financials, whatever it happens to be for you that you were very, very hooked on. It may be that you end up seeing that that's like a complete waste of your time and energy to focus on that. Not that it is or not, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just the intention, the concentration is shifting. Now, I'm also getting, though, yes, to things that make you feel excited. Okay. I see it's also like, I don't need to worry about the past. I hear that. I don't need to, yeah, which is very different and vibrationally from Pluto, which is the discussion we're just having with Mars and Scorpio. So, it's interesting, right? Because Pluto was about, I don't really care what it takes. Okay. I'm going to go to the very depths of the depths of the depths of the deepest part of the sea, of the ocean, to find this answer to the situation. And even if it is at the detriment, okay, which again is that's a shadow of Pluto. When you run yourself down, when you run yourself out, I'm seeing a lemon wedge here, like an orange grapefruit even wedge, something of a wedge of like some kind of fruit or something like that, citrus fruit. Okay, so even if I'm going to like wear myself the fuck down, it's like it becomes like it's a Pluto streak. So that, okay, according to a more Sagittarius or Capricorn energy, which everybody has, we have all these energies, okay, is not really so much. It's like Marcus, why are you so focused on the marketing? Can you calm down? Like, we need to focus more on how we feel about this discussion. Like, is it actually working for us here right now? I don't know what that's about, but there's something that will have to be maybe cleared out, eradicated, even as you may see it, okay, because you start to realize, I don't really even want to think of it in that way. So that can also, I'm thinking of more chords as well. Maybe you had certain attachments to certain people that were draining you, or that were not healthy. Maybe, for example, even you felt like, you might realize I feel it's going to be more in the deeper stages of Mars and Sag, but you may just kind of have this sudden moment of like, wait, is that even like my thought? Like, why did I take that so far there? What was that? Why did that captivate my interest so deeply? So any manipulative energies that were during Mars and Scorp season, and even way back, like further in the Sun and Scorpio season, will be possibly illuminated just from in terms of perspective, where you just see it like way clearly, and you're just like, okay, I get like why I was so hooked on that. I didn't really want to be in that situation to begin with. I'm hearing that. So I think the name of the game with Sag energy here is empowerment, and not in like a snooty way, not in like, I'm going to get over you, I'm going to rebound, I don't need to think about these. And even if it's you with you, okay, I'm going to start a new project, that one didn't work, whatever. No, it's more about, what do I actually feel? I'm not here for vengeance, I'm not here for like revenge. That's not really Jupiter's energy, guys. Okay, it may be Saturn's, but it's not really Jupiter's energy. We do still have Saturn ruling Venus, but it's okay. We're talking more about the Sun and Mars, and those are two very strong energies. When we get into Capricorn season, we'll talk about that then. But for now, for the next month or so, it is more about not really so much, okay, looking back and even on the past and saying what happened back there with like your portfolio, like it's more like, okay, so that happened, let's see what we can do now. That's the Jupiter. It doesn't want to create issues and drama, really, truly. It wants to look at where the discussion can go now, and that can be you with some area of your life, right? If you do have a Venus in Sagittarius, it may be related to your projects, your creative energies. It might be seeing where you're kind of like investing of yourself, and you just don't really think you're getting you're not satisfied with that, whatever it is, or you feel like you could be doing much more somewhere else. Maybe there's a project that really suits you way more than, so anyways, guys, I feel like this is a lot of information, and hopefully it's not overwhelming. Is this helpful? Clear and run. So, it's exciting, guys. it's exciting, but it does still take some shifting, you know? Um, just walking through nature. Cool, huh? Yeah, so as a Pisces, it's very important to ground, and nature is it can be really helpful for such things of grounding. But yeah, guys, I don't know. It's like I personally have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart. I'm feeling the Sun in Sag season has been like I'm getting this boisterous energy, but I also feel a little darty. So I'm looking forward personally to the streamlining of these energies again 3 degrees in a few days, which was really very interesting to see that energy play through. You guys, I'm literally walking like zigzag. I'm walking so zigzag. It's like symbolic, you know. I'm telling you, I feel very like dirty. But anyways, so yes, we were saying that um I'm seeing a star here. Um yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah, the Sag season. Like yeah, and my moon is Sag. I don't know. I've been feeling this boisterous energy, but then I've also it's been kind of like a little bit random and a little bit like weird. I mean, seriously, I'll be honest. Like this Mars in Scorpio season really was a fucking challenge. That was really it was intense. Not a challenge, but it was intense. Okay, it was not just like a yeah sitting on the dock of the bay. It's like it wasn't really personally. I'm seeing crows here. You know they're yeah. So and we did have Sun and Sag like simultaneous to that. Check it out, guys. So yeah, I just felt like Sag season hasn't really been a full blown like Sag season with that Mars and Scorpio, but we're looking towards it as Mars now shifts. Not that it wasn't necessary. We had to have that energy roll through, but it was definitely like I see it as like a tornado, like a storm like energy. So, how about you guys? How have you guys been feeling? Exciting, guys. How are you guys doing? Speaking of like somewhere like this gives me like vibes of like Maine, the seagulls. Like I've never been to Maine, but wow, there's a lot of smog right now. Give me a sec, guys. So, anyways, yeah, we have a new moon coming up, full moon in Gemini, and it's going to be interesting. Yes, because it is also it's a Yang air sign. So this full moon is gonna be intense. I'm getting that feeling as well. It is in the sign of the North Node of the collective, right? Look at these birds. They're literally just like they're literally having like a congregation. Look at that one bird. He's like kind of just like We're about to like meet up and like chill. Oh, whoa, you guys, there are so many birds right now. Wow. Interesting. Do you guys like these nature videos? Wow, guys, check it out. Whoa, it's poop. Oh my God. uh, it's from the birds. Okay. Nigel, uncut. Okay. But yeah, guys, it's pretty beautiful. It's all relative. I'm sure some of you live in cities that are just gorgeous in terms of nature. I don't know what it is. That just is another vibe. Hello. Twin flames, divine counterpart. So yeah, but I hope you guys do enjoy. Still, look at him, guys. Check it out. Hi. Looks like he's got an idea. Aw. Guys, I'm really looking like, yeah. It's really loud. Sorry, hold on. I don't know if you can still hear me, but it's really loud. So just give me a sec. Wow, guys, check it out. They're in a conga line. Wow. All right. So, what were we saying? Yeah. Um, oh yeah, I would love to like travel. I would love to travel and just like do a documentary even or some kind of like travel series. Um, yeah, but I definitely need to be with someone to do that as well. Like I can't. I mean, I can do it on my own, but um, wow, guys, look. He just straight up like left like all of the birds here on this ledge. Interesting. Wow. Whoa. You guys. Okay. So, okay. The photography sucks. But oh my god, what is going on with this? You guys, I feel like this Mars and Sag energy. It's like everything right now is feeling a little bit random right now, like a little bit weird and like ungrounded. I think that's what it is. Feeling ungrounded a little bit. I'm smelling some weird exhaust smell. So the AQI is not supposed to not that bad today, but anyways, let's clear the ground. So yeah, guys, I hope you have a lovely I hope you have a lovely Mars at 0 degrees, enjoying these energies of Mars in Sag as we enter into the season. Remember that it is still transit time. We're transitioning into Mars in Sag. And yeah, oh, I wanted to say, right, like, I really am hoping to do maybe even like at some point, like, I love videography, like, I love photography and I love traveling, but I just, like, when I was in Japan, in Okinawa, I didn't want, I did do some videoing, but it wasn't like, you know what I mean? So I feel like I would need to have like some, yeah, some kind of also plan with that, like, or at least some sort, yeah, some plan or some sort of idea of a project before I just like go and travel, if you know what I mean. I don't know if and I don't want to be on my own anymore with that. Okay, I was traveling on my own for some time, so I'm just like trying to think of, obviously, you know, I love, you know, that sort of thing, but it's got to be in the right space and time. Don't know why I'm mentioning that, but maybe some of you are also in a similar boat. Yeah, maybe you're thinking more about travels as well, especially Hong Kong, especially as we have more energies in Sag, like you might be feeling more like compelled, like almost even like super determined suddenly to like change your job. It's like, oh my God, I suddenly like don't want to be like, I'm hearing a medical engineer. What is that? Medical engineer. It's like suddenly you're like, I don't want to do this like job anymore. It's like you have this sudden awakening, you know, and that's all right. Like, see what comes through for you during the cycle when it comes to your also independence. I'm hearing that. Interesting. You know, maybe you don't want to be working for someone anymore. This is what I'm hearing. Maybe you want to be an entrepreneur and you're thinking more about those such projects. I feel that as a collective, we're probably, it's a general energy, like we may really be, you know, kind of like doing more toward, we will probably be turning around our so-called careers in a big way. Like if we weren't truly satisfied by something, we may decide to drop it during especially once Venus goes direct in Capricorn and then clears and moves into Aquarius. We will probably have laid foundations of a new beginning when it comes to sorts, when it comes to our projects and what we call our life's work and how our relationship paradigm fits into that spectrum as well. And then with Venus then entering into Aquarius later in 2022, we'll likely be integrating more with those concepts, more with those ideas. So hopefully this is interesting and not too sporadic of a message. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely Mars at Zenith. And anything else? Do you guys have any questions in terms of astrology? Oh, interesting, Danger Cat. Danger Cat says, I was randomly thinking of docu-travel yesterday after watching Gucci House. Interesting. Yeah, like, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, really, there can be these sudden, like, inspirations, you know? Wait, I can, like, do this or that, or, you know? So, and I think, like, that's for myself, part of it, too. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I don't know why I don't normally feel that way. But yeah, if you're maybe a first time viewer or this is the first time listening to Astro Chat, it is also a channel message. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, like no worries. I mean, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. It's okay. But I don't know. Like I need to mention that. Yeah, like if it's like, yeah, if you feel like you're resonating with the message, wonderful. But I'm feeling guided to share more here. I personally, with this Mars and Scorpio season, there has been, you know, this tendency to just kind of like do what you've been doing and to repeat it and do it again and again. And it's sort of like this patternized frequency, which is like a hallmark trait of Scorpio, Pluto, Mars, 8th house energy, of like being able to be focused, razor sharp, zoomed in, with intentionality, you know, to really manifest and even, you know, just to really zoom in on what it is you want to do. That is not always the best thing though sometimes, because we can get stuck in a situation or a rut or, again, whatever it happens to be for you, like, that doesn't actually serve your actual impulses and your desires when it comes to innovation, okay? Like, yeah, and it's a classic, like, I know I should be stopping this by now, like, I should no longer be doing this again. I know this is not serving me, this is not really, you know, making me also happy, like, I'm just doing it for the sake of, or I'm just going in this loop. That, okay, may change as Mars moves more deeper into Sagittarius, at the later degrees and stages, especially yet again. So when it comes to you actually maybe even like taking action on implementing ideas that you've had, if you've been holding back, like, you know, just kind of like doing things in rudimentary manner at times, I feel like there is this sort of so-called, we'll say, bravery when it comes to changing the beat, you know, turning the beat around and looking at things a little differently and saying, well, why wouldn't I pursue that? What do I have to lose? I hear that as well. Right? So, yeah, guys. Alright. Love and light to you. We'll hopefully get on later tonight. Give me some time to catch up with members. I haven't forgotten, of course. And if you have ordered a private service recently, I meant to take a break, but I know some orders came in, so don't worry, that will be on its way in a few days or so max. I haven't forgotten about that because it's still open. If you are curious about a private service, I'll probably hold it open for the rest of this week, so whatever is still in stock on the website. Alchemy and You, mostly astrology readings. I don't really do readings like for just separate matters of love, but whatever you happen to see in stock on the website, that's what is sort of open for the rest of the week, because I know I mentioned, yeah, so if you're interested in that, feel free to order that here, and there are some energetic alignment protocols and such. So as a heads up, let's jump back into members, possibly even tonight. We'll definitely be jumping most likely back into the rest of the signs, though, for the Mars in Sag series. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love and light to you. We'll see you then there. And you know, keep I'm hearing as well. Keep clearing your aura and grounding, because there again, where a planet shifts, there's a lot that is sort of brought up, and you know, it's just even to kind of just get your self more situated or more grounded with the storylines that you're not telling yourself in any way. It might be helpful to do like some kind of clearing exercise practices, keep the energy flowing and moving. If you are feeling a little erratic, you may want to do some sort of again, grounding exercises. Remember that. Again, I mean, I feel like I'm repeating, but Mars at 0 degrees can be very jumpy and very initiatory. Okay, very excitatory, but you have a lot of ideas you want to just jump into and get it going. But if it is feeling a little bit like erratic, again, I hear that, or frustrating to you, then just kind of keep clearing aura and grounding. There might be some decisions you're making, I'm hearing that as well. And some things that you want to address. It may be that you want to think a little bit more about this decision and jump into that more so as Mars jumps into the later degrees of Sagittarius, if that makes sense. So yeah, but follow your intuition, guys. I hear it again. Keep clearing and grounding your aura and your energy field. We are obviously in a transition, and I'm hearing that we have to be firm in our beliefs. I'm hearing as well, I don't know if maybe some of you are making, again, decisions, like important decisions that you feel it's a significant, like, turning point kind of vibe. Like, maybe you are going to call something out, even I hear that. that it happens to be. What I'm seeing is that I'm hearing you're keeping the faith. I feel Spirit wants you to maybe. Okay, for some, it's another channel message. I feel that there's a little bit of fear when it comes to some maybe conversation you need to have, or there's a little bit of pressure possibly when it comes to an idea that you would like to present to somebody. This is for some. And what Spirit is getting, if that's your message, is that it's not so much about how you do that. Interesting. Like, it's more about connecting, I'm hearing, to you in that discussion. So if you have like a very important, maybe like, again, discussion coming up, meeting, it may be advantageous to I'm hearing assume your story is true. I don't know what, maybe it's like, hey, keep the faith. Yeah, I don't know. This is a message this is a message for somebody. Definitely. Somebody has maybe a very important meeting coming up. I don't know, guys. Okay, is anybody in the chat so I know? If this is someone's message in the chat, because I'm seeing someone who's very nervous. Maybe it's as a collective. We're moving in a direction. It's like we have to be brave and just kind of go for it. So thank you guys for tuning in. But no, there's another message. Hold on. Yeah, like if you're worried, okay, I'm seeing, look. I see someone is nervous about something. They want to run into like a room and like call something out, like immediately, like almost like they want to like just kind of get the conversation over with. Like they don't want to spend any more time thinking about whatever this is. I think your spirit guides are saying, like, it's interesting because I'm also hearing, just don't think about like what necessarily, this is obviously a general video, it's a general message, but it's like, try not to like guess what will be, if that makes sense. Like, try to sort of be optimistic, but without defining your letter for that person. I don't know, you guys take it as you will. All right. It's not necessarily something maybe you can control the outcome of. Maybe Spirit is trying to say, just kind of maybe go with the flow, see what happens. Like, and I get as well, though, that you don't necessarily want to rush, but you do want to just be kind of real with the way that you feel, whatever you feel about whatever situation. So, but if it means you, like, I'm hearing jump into conclusions or jump, like, you know what I mean? Assuming something or like, I don't know, acting on something impulsively. I think Spirit is saying maybe it's, wait even maybe a few days, or especially, you'll have different perspective. Love and light to you guys, and this is, staying patient and grounded, exactly, Kenyatta. But there is a focus on your values, of course, and Spirit is saying, of course, that's without compromise. So thank you guys for tuning in. Love and light. We'll see you in the next video. As always,